I knew something insane was about to happen the moment I opened the door and saw the police officer trying desperately not to laugh. He stood there, on my porch, clipboard in hand, eyes squinting at the paper like he couldn't believe what he was reading. "Mr. Carson," he said, clearing his throat, "I'm here about, landscaping violations and unauthorized exterior paint colors?" I took a slow sip from my mug. "Adorable," I said, loud enough for my neighbor across the street to hear. "Especially since I'm not even in the HOA." And just like that, the show began. Across the road, standing in her surgically perfect yard, was Linda Marsh, self-appointed queen of the Brookhaven Ridge Association. Hands on hips, chin high, eyes narrowed like a hawk that smelled prey. She froze. Then her jaw clenched. Even from 50 feet away, I could see her entire plan collapsing in real time. The officer looked at her, then back at me, then back at the paper, completely confused. "Sir, are you positive? The complaint states your property falls under Brookhaven Ridge jurisdiction." I actually laughed. Oh, buddy, he had no idea what kind of circus he just walked into. Let me take you back 6 months, because that's when this madness started. After years of cramped apartments, loud hallways, and neighbors who thought slamming doors at 2 a.m. was a sport, I finally saved enough to buy my dream house. A quiet little 2-story place with a big yard and tall trees that made every sunset look like a painting. But the real selling point? The house sat just outside the HOA boundary. I checked the map, then checked it again, then made my realtor check it. Twice. No dues, no rules, no community overlords dictating the color of my trash cans. The previous owners even warned me, "Just watch out for Linda Marsh, HOA president, lives across the street. She's particular." Particular turned out to be the politest understatement in human history.
The day I moved in, Linda marched over like she was inspecting a military base. Clipboard, tight smile, and that rehearsed tone HOA presidents love to use. "Welcome to Brookhaven Ridge," she said, voice sharp enough to slice cardboard. "I'm Linda Marsh, the association president. I'll need you to fill out these membership forms." I set down the box I was carrying. "I'm not in the HOA. My house isn't part of Brookhaven Ridge." Her smile twitched, like she'd been slapped with a fish. "Oh, surely you want to join voluntarily. We maintain very high standards here." "No thanks," I replied. "I'm good." The temperature drop between us could have frozen a lake. "Well," she said, clutching her clipboard tighter, "I hope you'll still uphold our community standards. We wouldn't want the neighborhood's value to decline." And that was it. The moment she decided I was an enemy of the state.
Weeks passed peacefully. I set up my home office, got used to the quiet, planned out the vegetable garden I'd always wanted. So I built a neat raised bed along the driveway. Tomatoes, peppers, herbs, the whole thing looked like a magazine cover. My immediate neighbors loved it. The elderly couple next door asked for gardening tips. But Linda looked at it like I'd parked a burning car on my lawn. 2 days later, the letter arrived. "Dear homeowner, your unauthorized garden violates HOA Code Section 3.2. I wasn't even in the HOA. I filed the letter away and forgot about it. But Linda didn't. The next letter said I now owed $350 in fines, then $50 per day. Then she claimed my garden hose was illegal. My doormat wasn't neutral enough. My trash cans were visible for over 45 alarming seconds. I started keeping her letters in a folder labeled Linda's Delusions. The breaking point came when I painted my shutters a deep forest green.
It looked fantastic. Even my neighbor Tom said it made the house pop. But Linda? Oh no. She marched into my driveway with a measuring tape, color swatches, and the energy of someone auditioning for CSI HOA division. My security cameras caught everything. The letter that followed accused me of violating color codes that didn't exist, especially not for a house she had zero authority over. This time, she didn't just write letters. She called everyone.
Code enforcement came. They apologized and left. The city came. They complimented my solar panels and left. Then Officer Martinez arrived, looking embarrassed. "Sir, we got a report about an illegal structure and possible drug activity." I nearly spit out my coffee. "It's a garden shed, officer." He peeked inside. Rakes, potting soil, a suspiciously innocent lawnmower. He shook his head. "Someone's playing games." "Oh, officer, someone was playing war."
Where you can direct a voice, create realistic dialogue, and so much more. Edit these placeholders to get started.
That was the moment I'd had enough. I installed more cameras, documented everything, even filed public records requests. What I found stunned me. Linda wasn't just complaining. She was forging HOA boundary maps, submitting fake documents, claiming my house was under her authority, filing complaints as if she were a government official. That crossed into illegal territory. So I took my folder to my friend Maya, an attorney. The more she read, the angrier she got. "Dan, this isn't just harassment," she said. "This is fraud, false reporting. You need to shut this down." We wrote the sharpest cease-and-desist letter known to mankind. I mailed it. My camera caught Linda opening it. Her face drained to white, then turned red, then purple. For the first time ever, she backed off. 3 days of peace. I thought it was over. It wasn't.
Linda called an emergency HOA meeting. She tried convincing the board they had the right to extend enforcement to protect property values. But some board members were fed up. Tom, who sat on the board, later told me she tried showing evidence, but all she had were pictures of your shutters and garden. When they asked for the documents proving my house was under HOA authority, she panicked. The management company confirmed there were 0 records with my address. And that's when I walked in. As a guest, I was allowed to speak. Linda nearly screamed, "He can't be here! He's not a member!" Janet, a board member and lawyer, shut her down calmly. I set my folder on the table. County-stamped maps, official letters, city responses, every false report she had ever filed. "I'm prepared to press charges," I said, steady and calm, "unless this ends tonight." Silence. Then the board voted. 6-1. Linda was removed as HOA president in less than 60 seconds. I didn't even smile. Okay, maybe a little. But her nightmare was just beginning. The city issued warnings for false reporting. Her employer received multiple complaints about her behavior. Her reputation cratered. She kept her job, barely, but her power? Gone, shattered. The next day, I installed a sign beside my mailbox. "Not your HOA, not your problem." Petty? Oh yeah. Satisfying? More than dessert. Neighbors outside the HOA put up their own signs. A whole anti-HOA rebellion spread overnight. Even the new HOA president apologized to me. She said my shutters added
character. Linda started hiding behind blinds, glaring from the safety of her curtains. But she stayed silent. The police knew her name now, and not in a good way.
Last week, another neighbor, someone she'd harassed long before me, filed a lawsuit. Emotional distress, legal fees, $20,000. The judge ruled Linda must pay $15,000. She broke down crying in court, claiming she just wanted to protect property values. But here's what I learned. Some people want control so badly, they'll invent rules, forge documents, and destroy lives just to feel powerful. But the second you stand up to them, their entire empire collapses. And that's exactly what happened here.